Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith for the In the Black VTF here at T3Live.com on a Friday afternoon. It's July 11th, which means free Slurpee Day if you get a chance to get on 7-Eleven. Other than that, as you can see behind me, we are moving. A bunch of screens are now gone, moving into our new digs over the weekend. Very excited about that to bring you better, faster, quicker information about what we do here with the strategy and all the things we like to do. Outside of that, a slow day somewhat for the market. We did find some things to do, so let's take a look at some charts here. If we take a look at the S&P Spider, we're going to see, after many night sessions here and webinars and all that kind of stuff, about how I look at things, you can see this inside day for the SPY. And what that means is a nice equilibrium. Couldn't take out yesterday's lows or highs. So to start off next week, we want to see which way this SPY goes. Does it go inside and up and take this out, inside and down, and try and break this channel and expand into a triangle? You can see an inside day called the low here. You can see this inside day here as well. So we're going to be very interested to see how this inside day plays out come next week. If you take a look at the monthly chart, everybody's like, is the correction over? I'm like, one of the things you'll have noticed in the last few days is we came around the 196 level, and at 196.19 was the opening of the month. So we're still green on the month as far as July is concerned, not by much, and certainly one bouncing around and testing that. You can see this here. Right here is the opening of the month. We went in there, we went inside 60 here to test the opening of the month and successfully held today and came back up. Yesterday we gapped through it and ripped back up. You can see right in here, we came in here to test the lows. So we'll be watching that 196.19 as well as this inside day to start off next week. We also have the small cappers IWM, TNA as an inside day to help us gauge direction next week. We also have the FAS. Here is an inside day. And so if we go through the list of the inside days of what the components are in here, you're going to see Bank of America, you got Citicorp, inside days and stuff like that. In the Dow, we got Coke, and we got Morgan Stanley. We've got a whole ton whenever you see that SPY go inside like we did. Also, usually since that means we couldn't go to a higher high and a lower low, it makes for lackluster trading in the S&P 500 to be sure. But today, definitely the group favorite was Amazon, and that was a real nice play today as it gapped up. And if you follow some of the things I talk about, it's a good example of a lot of it, because when you see it come up like this and it starts running away and you're like, oh, I missed it, it's gone, it's gone. You'll notice here it comes in and goes inside 15 and then rallies back up again. Oftentimes I'll talk about something called a reversal strategy, and you're going to see that here was an inside bar that tried to go up and then comes down and reverses there, and it also did it here. It goes down and reverses back up through the inside bar. And the reason these occur is because, remember, these inside bar equilibriums are matched up buying and selling. Somebody has to take the power. So in this shot, buyers tried to take it, failed here, then had to go back inside to recover. Here, stalemate. Sellers tried to take it and failed as the buyers came back in and took it up there. You can also see this on a nice 60-minute basis. Gave us a real nice slower entry here. The inside bar down, rejection on the 60. Never looks back from there. It also did it on the 30 later. Reversal strat here. Oh, that was bump, 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 bump. Here, right at the end of the day, a little reversal strat here, inside, back down, and pop up just a little bit. So Amazon, a nice winner for a lot of people today, especially if you look at, and I talk about the triangles, you're going to see how this thing's lining up here, here on the upper level triangle like this. And if you look at something like Google on the daily, you're going to see something real similar here. You can see this small triangle here, slight higher highs, slight lower lows off of that. And then if we go to QQQ, you're going to see that same pattern here too. Somewhat of a reversal strat, because it was an inside bar, gap down, came back up, and now you've got your higher highs and your lower lows with your inside day in the S&P. So we're going to be looking for that kind of stuff to start off. S&P, Spider, which way can we take this inside day next week? Because if we go to the upside, it means all time frames are to the upside, because the monthly opening is here. If we take it to the bottom, since the bottom of today was below the monthly opening, everything's to the downside. So it's like starting over a new month. However, on a day like today when it's lackluster, we still had stuff to go after. You just had to follow the news tape. You had stuff like TMUS pop her head up a little bit here. See, we got some action out of here. You had Ruckus, RKUS. you had, and you can see once again, up, and if you miss it, you get your inside 5 after the rest, inside 5 there, reversal strat 5 here. You can see how when things get active, they trade within the ways that we like to follow them. Mondelez had a nice run here too. You can even get a short off the inside 5 here, stuff like that. We had Aruba Networks, also a nice pop there, and ShipJ. ShipJ, also a nice push up there. Died a little bit once it got up there, but there was some 15er play in here, and outside bar to the downside here, then inside, 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 and pop back up. So we did have some story stocks there. Other than that, like I said, there's a ton of inside days coming up for with the SPY to keep an eye on. You're going to look at Tesla as an inside day. You're going to see, after the news yesterday, TRW, LL after the carnage going inside day near the lows. You've got Akamai, and it really goes on and on. So not only would we be watching those, but we want to watch how they're going to affect the equilibriums on the weeklies. So we're watching last week, if you got the XOP. Remember last week talked about the inside week in the energies, and indeed XOP goes out near the lows, XLE similarly there. And so that's why we want to watch these inside weeks and how they're going to break. And so for next week, you've got GoPro. GoPro starting off as an inside week in her young life. You got stuff like Qualcomm as an inside week to see which way that's going to go. You've got CSX in the rails. You've got General Motors. We've got, let's see, we've got Hilton, and we look for stuff like this because Hilton is an inside week with a combination of already being inside month and up. And then if we go inside week for the Dow Jones, we're going to see IBM. I believe earnings are coming out here too. We want to see how that acts. You've got Capital One as far as being influenced by the FAS inside day, and Discover Financials an inside week. So a lot of that kind of stuff coming up for next week. So right now, that's about going to do it. We had, like I said, we're moving into our new digs. Looking forward to getting that out, getting some more stuff. We had a great week trading. Really some good stuff with that gap and reverse yesterday. Little lackluster on the inside day today, but we made the best of it with Amazon and some story stocks. Going to watch how that inside day breaks in the SPY, the FAS, and the small cappers to start off next week. And that's going to do it. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'm Rob Smith from Smith the Black VTF here at T3Live.com. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you in the morning on Monday morning.